안녕하세요, 여러분. Tony입니다. Hello, everyone. It's Tony. So I'm trying out some new videos right now. Just want to let you get your guys' opinion on everything. So let me know in the comment section below what you think of these type of like more newsy type of K-pop-y related videos. Just want to share my personal thoughts on some things. Whatever kind of interests me, whatever kind of sparks my attention, in with regards to what's happening in the world of K-pop with in terms of news. And this one in particular kind of hits home for me just because it's Stray Kids for one, which is like a group that I really learned to love last year when I checked them out a lot. And to that matter, if you want to go check out any of my reactions to them, they'll be linked in the description box below. Absolutely love these guys so much, and this one really caught my attention with regards to that. And then just in terms of the idea of bullying, I guess it's been a really hot topic right now. All of the bullying allegations, accusations being coming out of the woodwork with regards to a lot of K-pop idols happening right now in Korea. It's quite unfortunate. So many of the accusations I feel like are just taken over to the top next level, and we kind of forget that whatever happened in the past, sure, it is really bad, but it doesn't kind of like shape who these people were now and who are they are in the future. So I think that sure, bringing this to light is something kind of to make note of for the person, but like it's not to the point where we should like kind of like hang these people. And I think that's my take on like the overall thing. So cool, I understand that it's not good, but at the same time it's in the past. What's happened. And like even for me, when I was like kind of bullied in high school, middle school, it was not to the point where it's like now I see those people nowadays sometimes, and we're cool, we're chill. It's different, I think. So yeah, with that being said, today obviously we're gonna be looking at Stray Kids' Hyunjin's bullying allegations, what happened and whatnot, and just my first take on it. I haven't actually read any of the articles, but I've kind of looked up it a little bit to make sure that the articles aren't just like spreading false accusations and everything. So I'm gonna do my best, and I'll leave the articles linked in the description box below. So with that being said, let's get into this. I'm going to check this out. We're gonna do that. We're gonna go into, so this is the first one. This was by Sumpi. This is like Sumpi is I prefer my preferred checking for news because it seems to be pretty verified. So the initial statement by JYP, so following the initial statement by JYP Entertainment, was that like there's a lot of allegations towards Hyunjin with regards to bullying, like him in middle school being a bully. And this is a lot for like other idols like G Idol. I believe there's one for 17. I believe there's a few other ones that I can't remember. There's a lot, and just to let you know, I'm not keeping up with all of them, Stray Kids Hyunjin, just because like I'm a big fan of Stray Kids. I wanted to talk about this. So the original statement by JYP was that they were going to look into it. They're actually going to like come like face to face with a lot of the classmates, and like even potentially the original accusers, to just talk it through, get like a account, proper testimonies of everything. So I think this is finally the follow up. So this is what it is. So, hello, this is JYP. First of all, we apologize for causing discomfort to many with negative regarding artist Stray Kids Hyunjin. As it is a matter to be cautious about, we ask for your understanding as it took some time to release a statement based on the exact facts after investigating through various routes. We listened to the situation at that time of the fellow students who attended the same school as the member, teachers, and surrounding people, and with the permission of those who wrote the post, we directly met up with them and listened to their opinions. Combining the information from various people, their memories of that time are completely different from each other, so there was some difficulty in clearly confirming any of the acts. So now this is a big thing I like that they included, because this, we got to remember, happened, I believe, when he was like probably middle school, so 17 or something. What is he now? Stray Kids 20, okay, so he's 20 now. Like that's sorry, 50, he's 50, he was 15 maybe, I don't know. But essentially that's happened like what, like 3 to 5 years now. Memory, like I sometimes I don't even remember what I ate for dinner like last night. So I can definitely see that, like, a lot due to a lot of things, like your just memory kind of like influence of kind of events happening right now, kind of being biased, kind of swaying towards something. It's like, oh, maybe you could misinterpret also, like say like, oh, he kind of bumped into me. Could this be interpreted as bullying at this point? Maybe it is. Maybe I'm looking for, maybe I'm trying to gain a little bit of like what they would call like clout, like your 5 seconds of fame by saying, like stepping up. It's like, oh yeah, he did this to me. That could be something. I sure some of the testimonies are probably correct, but definitely I think time plays a big factor in this, because a lot of memories and a lot of like recollections could not be very accurate, and you could be trying to fill in the blanks with something that you think would fit this like narrative that you're trying to put together, whether it be good or bad. So I like how they're mentioning this. I like how they're bringing that very much to the forefront. However, there are people who were hurt by Hyunjin's immature and improper actions in the past. Hyunjin deeply regrets and reflects on himself regarding this, so he met with directly with those who wrote and posted sincerely apologized for resolving misunderstandings with Hyunjin, for accepting this his sincere apology, and for showing support for his future. We once again express sincere gratitude. If there are any others who were unable to be reached but have been hurt by Hyunjin's actions in the past, we express apologies. Hyunjin has resolved to live properly while always self-reflecting from now on, and we also pay extra effort to our artists to go down the correct path. Last, we ask that everyone refrain from spreading false rumors and speculative reports, and we will take more careful measures regarding the trainee and artist selection process that we weren't alert about before. Thank you. So this entire second half, I understand. So like this is the actual apology. We'll get into that after, but I want to just quickly discuss about this part where he says immature in past actions and reflects on himself regarding this, so he like is reflecting and like looking to the future. Again, you're a young teenage boy, you do what like reckless things. You just do what you think is cool, and like maybe it's sure maybe he was like the ringleader, maybe he could be the one looking really being looked upon as that main person because he's so famous. But does that mean that there weren't others involved? Does that mean he wasn't peer pressured? Does that mean he wasn't kind of like swayed to doing this? We don't know. We don't have full recollection, full account of this. And even if Hyunjin came out to say something like that, it wouldn't be taken like he would be taken as trying to defend himself and not just owning up to it, which is a sad part about just being an idol. Also, anything you do has to be just an apology to extent it, and that's something here. He met up directly with those who wrote the post and sincerely apologized. It doesn't mean he confessed to any of this, by the way. It means he apologized because that's really the only thing he can do for both his image as well as his group's reputation, as well as just him himself. He can only apologize. It's a something kind of like a little sad about the industry itself. You Idols are held to such a high standard and high regard that I feel like sometimes we forget that they're people too. You know, when you're in high school, sure you did some stupid and just like kind of reckless stuff, and sometimes you were swayed by the opinions of your friends, the opinions of others, trying to fit in. So I really think that like people are taking this bullying stuff like unless if it's crazy bullying, I don't know, like it has to be really like accounted what this like specific stuff is. Sure, it's not good, but like everybody changes, everybody grows up, and when they grow up they become different people. Like I know a lot of like when I was growing up, for me for instance, when I kind of got bullied, I was like, okay, I don't like these people. But then like later, 3 to 4 years later, they I talk to them, they're very different people, they're very changed people, and you learn to just like grow and like just like move on from that past. And I think it's more like the Korean audience like holding idols to that such a high standard, expecting to be just essentially angels, not having a bad past, that we look towards this back, and it's just not, I think, something that is kind of like promoting good healthy kind of just environment and everything. And I think that that's maybe one of the issues here. But again, this part where they say lastly we ask that like like asking that they stop spreading false narratives and false rumors, that's something to be like looking forward to, like that they should do. But then this part, will take more careful measures regarding the trainee artist selection process that we weren't allowed. See, that's something that I'm trying to like look at. It's like, is that even possible? Is that because if you're super talented and you have a chance of getting in, I would full-heartedly know that like without disclosure lie about this stuff. I would try to get in because this is your chance at your dream. And I'm like, how are they gonna look? They're gonna they what is it? They triage through like thousands of applications. They're gonna go through each one, interview their teachers, interview their classmates. I don't think that's very likely. I think that this is more just something that we have to learn to accept in terms of just overall K-pop and just like idols, that they're people too. We have to hold them at, like, sure we can hold them at to a bit higher regard because they're public facing, but for them to be like angels even in their past lives before idols, we can't say that. And a lot of them don't debut, a lot of them are trainees, they never go on to debuting. So who's to say that a trainee that is like a bully never meets the day of light, so never gets this type of criticism. Whereas like Hyunjin got his like goal to meet a trainee, and just so happens that like now for some reason this little nugget of information comes out because of other allegations coming out, and a lot of people trying to just get that like 5 second of fame. I think it's it's something that I don't think it's really doable, really manageable. But I will give them props as trying to say that they'll do this. It's definitely interesting. So this is the statement that Hyunjin released on Instagram. I actually saw it earlier. Hello, this is Stray Kids. It's Hyunjin. First of all, I sincerely apologize to those who were hurt by my improper actions during my school years. Looking back on times when I was more lacking, I am embarrassed and have no excuse. I have realized that my actions and words that did not know how to be considerate of others have hurt others. It is too late, but I will deeply reflect on myself. Whenever it was intended or not, I don't. Oh, whether sorry, I don't think I can be forgiven at all for giving unforgettable pain to someone. I am deeply reflecting on myself as I know that just because I apologized and they accepted the apology doesn't mean that the pain I gave in the past will be erased entirely. Although this is shameless, I want to express gratitude to those who were hurt by me for Wait, I want to express gratitude to those who were hurt by me for allowing me to directly meet them, belatedly apologize, and ask for forgiveness through this letter. If there happen to be others who have been hurt by my improper actions during my school years who I cannot meet directly, I want to express my apologies, at least through writing like this. I sincerely apologize for causing deep disappointment to the many people who have supported me. So again, he doesn't blatantly admit to the bullying allegations, and I really don't think that the bullying allegations can be confirmed or denied at this point. But again, to save the face of his company, save the face of his group, his fellow members that could potentially get hate on this as well because they're still associated with him, to just like stop all of the hate and so hopefully stop all the backlash. He's sending out this message. It's a very sincere message, I think, and I feel for the guy. I really do. I really do feel that like I think the community as a whole is there to like stays will definitely I think support him, but like people who don't know any better, I think that like especially with Korean social media in particular, the hate is very kind of like in extreme to an extent sometimes. So I hope that he's okay. I know that recently he's been doing a show music core or something, I believe. He's the host, and this week he was actually not he was going to be taking away from that because of all this, and Yeji came in to actually fill in. But I hope that he can get over this, and I hope that like he has that solid support system from all of his brothers and stray kids and just his family and everything. And I hope that he understands that something in the past like this is the past. Like, sure, you can reflect on it. Sure, it might have been bad, but you got to move on. And I hope that the population moves on too, because people change, guys. People change. Just because he was like say he like allegedly bullied somebody in the past doesn't mean they can't change to nicer people. You see it in the time of the movies, and sure, like you see movies aren't the greatest ideal, but like you see it all the time even in real life. People change, man. People can go from being the villain to being the hero in a matter of seconds, a matter of days, and over years. Again, the idea of recollections change, the idea of memories fade. You forget obviously things, and you could just make it so that it fits that narrative. That is something I want to look out for. And then there's these other allegations from a teacher. So one of his fellow teachers, supposed teachers, this is from all K-pop. So take with it what you will, lighthearted, because I'm not too sure how accurate this one is. This is something that the teacher posted. Hello, I'm a teacher who oversaw the graduating class of 2016 at the school Hyunjin of Stray Kids attended. I'm writing this because I feel the controversy surrounding Hwan Hyunjin and his fellow students is unfortunate. I was worried that even my memories were not accurate. Even them, not sure. See, even them. So I spoke to many teachers who worked at the school at the time before writing my statement. The class Hyunjin was in during his second year of junior high was especially competitive, and there were many students with abrasive personality. Okay, so see, it could be a result of like his environment. But we don't know. Is Hyunjin just a focal point here because he is a big name? Making general environment of the clash harsh. The kids were at an immature point in their lives, but she even like this teacher even states that too. I like that they brought this up because it's just like a bunch of young teenagers. But because of other factors, they chose to act and put each other down instead of recognizing each other's faults. See, we say this now, like sure, that's an ideal, but let's be honest, in like high school it's very kind of like harsh extremes what we go through in like those little like cliques. Most of the children in that class were caught up in the atmosphere of their classmates, and I recall that they were not comfortable expressing themselves. Hyunjin was also swept up into this. See, Hyunjin was swept up in this environment, and I believe he was going through personal issues. So this could be a cause for what his environment was itself. I believe this is why his words and actions were rough and overly sensitive. So it might have been to deal with the pain of his own personal issues, but also maybe a result of the environment that he was being brought up in his classroom. Hyunjin may have hurt others with his immature words and actions, but the accusations he led bullying against others is an unfortunate exaggeration. Acknowledging his wrongdoings, apologizing for the people he hurt, and asking for forgiveness is something Hyunjin must do. However, placing the blame on Hyunjin for all actions of his class schoolmates is too cruel. All of the teachers I called said that it is fair for him to be branded as someone with a bad personality and to have it is unfair, sorry, unfair. Carry this reputation with him. That's what I'm essentially getting to as well, just because people change. It's like, okay, he apologized. I think we should move on. Stop kind of hating on the guy. Sure, it's bad, but I think already the amount of like pressure he's putting on in himself is crazy enough. So I think that really we don't have to keep on beating this dead horse. I feel sorry towards all the middle school and second years who suffered emotional scars from their time in a cutthroat environment as immature teenagers. They were immature, but they were all my precious students. As someone who taught them for over 3 years, I send this letter in the hopes none of them will ever be hurt by the memories of that time again. So again, this could also be a result of the just general education structure at this school, or like the environment at least, but of this school being very competitive. Being Korea in general is very competitive in terms of its education system. So I can see a lot of stress being put onto each one of these students, a lot of just pressure being put on by their families as well. So maybe they need somewhere to vent out, and they just don't have anywhere else to vent out. So it's definitely potentially something with their in terms of their environment. So following that, recently there have been a lot of responses to this actual comment by the teacher, and they were shared on like a blog post, a forum post. So some of them said, I don't know who you are, teacher, but I remember when I lost 20,000 to 30,000 Korean won from my wallet that was inside my bag. So I believe that's around 20 to $30. Um, I went to the teacher's office for help. That's when my homeroom teacher for class two and the other teachers around responded by saying, "You should have managed your money better. You shouldn't have left your wallet in your bag, but should have carried it around," which is true. But at the same time, people shouldn't be looking through each other's bags. That's another thing. But like that's just kind of a societal thing that happens in high school. I found. I lost an iPod once, and that was really upsetting, even though it was in my bag. I still can't forget those words. My homeroom teacher didn't even try to resolve the issue to bring this up to class. So this, I understand the upset, like the person being upset with that. But again, I've had this happen where you rely too much on adult authority figures and you go to them for every little thing. And then at some point, when you don't have that, you don't know how to deal with it. So I understand that like the teacher could have been shrugging them off, but at the same time, you have to learn to deal with these issues sometimes yourselves and try to learn to resolve these issues and how to approach them for just life itself. That's my 2 cents on this. Sure, it's bad, but at the same time, if the teacher doesn't take action, take it on yourself to at least confront the person, talk to them about it. Sure, you could be afraid, but if you want something resolved, sometimes getting an authority figure that isn't available, sometimes just going yourself, at least talking to them is a solution. The victim continued to write, during the second year, we were really just survived on our own. When we told the teacher, no one tried to help. Of course, it's wrong to blame all the bullying on Hyunjin alone, but no one can deny that he was the center of them all. Okay, so center, this could be just a rough translation to that, but also it could also mean that he was the main focus just because it's the main person that you remember in your memory. Again, playing out the idea very long time ago, lots of memories, but could this be an idea of perhaps it being actually just like recollection because oh he's the main guy that we remember because he's such a big name that we want to put his name in there so that we gain recognition. I don't know. We don't know. Everyone knew that kind of person he was, so everyone was careful so that they weren't seen by him. Okay, so everyone, I would like to know, I would like to get more evidence, recollections, but again, it's been so long that people can come out and just say, yeah, but in fact, nothing really happened. Finally, the victim concluded, I don't want to be remembered that time when I was 15, when Hyunjin debuted. He was also a rookie, so I didn't see him often. Then I saw that he became the MC for show Music Core. Now I can't even watch that show because I remember that time when I see his face. Since then, netizens have directed their criticism towards the teacher. They comment, while those people don't deserve to be teachers, the teacher basically turned a blind eye. So how do they know how severe Hyunjin's bullying was? The teacher's response was unbelievable. The teacher who responded in defense, then what about the victims? I really don't think the teacher thought about the victims, and this is so crazy. It hurts my heart. It's definitely really sad for the victims and everything that came out and to have a voice now. But again, I don't think the teachers had malicious intent with anything. Sure, they could have been a little bit more biased. Sure, towards when he was becoming a K-pop trainee, they could be like, "Oh, this guy's a trainee. He must be good." They must have like a false presumptions on that. But I really feel like sometimes people are taking this out of stretching this out and being a bit more like playing the victim card a bit too much. That's my personal opinion. Again, I do empathize with the victims a lot and that bullying should never happen to anybody, but I think that there is that fine line that we have to ride on understanding that like okay, the teacher wasn't there, but did you take any action to try to like resolve the issue yourself, or did you try to talk to this person, or did you guys like I get that sometimes that obviously doesn't work, but and I'm saying this, but like sometimes at least just trying to confront or at least trying to talk or just not just only get teachers but get other people involved to try to talk to your parents or something, get them involved to try to talk to the teachers, not just keeping it to yourself is the best way. And I think that maybe those things could have been ways to circumvent this issue and circumvent it from becoming bigger and bigger. And I don't know, I think that sometimes these things, people saying like everyone was so careful that they weren't seen by him, okay, like are we sure that he's the one that stole the 20 to $30? I don't know. Like there's a lot that's very gray area here, I think, and a lot of it that I'm not sure about, and I hope never really resurfaces. I hope that like we kind of just like let this to rest. Hyunjin, he apologized. Hyunjin, he said he was sorry. I think that at this point, that's all we really can accept and really can move on from. Because again, these things are just things that I think were in the past. People change, people move on. So I really do hope that we move on from this. And I think that's all I'm going to say. I really don't want to have any bias, but I think that really people change. And I think that Hyunjin has really learned. And I think that all the pressure he's getting from the community is pressure enough. So I think that we should just let it be, leave it at that. So, with that being said, guys, I hope you let me know your thoughts actually in the comment section below of what you thought about this entire little news kind of thing. I know it's a little bit long, but I wanted to really give this a kind of an in-depth talk through, a little bit of an explanation. So, thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you thought about this in the comment section below. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out my more music video reactions to Stray Kids, that'll be linked in the description box down below. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. 감사합니다. And as always, if you have any comments, questions, or something you want to talk, feel free to leave in the comment section below, and I'll get to you as soon as possible. That being said, guys, I've been Tony. 안녕히 계세요. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video. 안녕.